Hello, and thanks for joining us for our daily market coverage. Here are today's financial news presented by CenterFX, your reliable partner in trading.
Nvidia stock surged 4% on Tuesday, closing at $170.70, after the U.S. government approved licenses allowing the company to resume sales of its chips to China. In Tuesday's regular session, the Dow Jones fell 0.9%, the S&P 500 lost 0.4%, and the Nasdaq Composite dropped 0.2%, pressured by hotter-than-expected consumer inflation data for June. U.S. gasoline futures fell to around $2.17 per gallon on Wednesday, following oil prices lower, as traders assess President Trump's 50-day deadline for Russia to end the war in Ukraine. The Canadian dollar strengthened past 1.37 per US dollar, as investors balanced sticky domestic inflation against recent US currency softness. Bitcoin traded at around $117,400 this Wednesday, decreasing by 0.4% in the last 24 hours. Looking back, over the last 4 weeks, Bitcoin gained 12%. Now let's review the major economic events of the day. At 6 a.m., the UK to release the annual inflation rate for June, following 3.4% in May. At 12:30 p.m., the producer price inflation in the US is expected to increase, after reaching 0.1% in May. At 11:50 p.m., Japan will release figures for the balance of trade of June, following a trade deficit of 637 billion Japanese yen in May. Tomorrow's major economic events. At 6 a.m., the UK to release the unemployment rate for May, following 4.6% in April. At 12:30 p.m., the retail sales in the US are expected to increase, after reaching -0.9% in May. At 11:30 p.m., Japan will release figures for the annual inflation rate of June, following 3.5% in May.
And that's it for today's Market News Roundup, presented by CenterFX. Thanks for joining us today, and be sure to tune in again tomorrow for more financial news.